Hi, this is Amy with Momma-Builds. Come build with me. So today, I'm in my bikini bottom world, which you probably couldn't tell that because I'm kind of way far away from everything. There's the hospital, the airport's over there. But this is going to be my Snail Bites factory or facility. So I've already started with the prep work because I want to be able to fit in everything within my hour of recordable PS4 playtime. So let's get started. First, I have this outer perimeter. I started with stone. Much of this is going to get filled in with the iron gate, I believe. And then right here, this all of this looks kind of connected in the picture. If you look up Snail Bites Factory in Google, it's all connected through these weird like pipes and stuff, but you have these kind of main like buildings. So we have this kind of orangish building here that looks like the foreman or the boss's like offices or something like that. Then we have this kind of goldish looking giant silo, like roundish silo. Then we have a little stone building over here. Then another kind of roundish silo that is more of a metal color. And then this kind of sandstone colored building that's going to be quite a bit taller. It kind of gets a little smaller over here, and then it has this little smallest part, and it has these stairs like coming up it. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna finish our resin house. I got rid of the resin because I was trying to. There's a lot of different building materials, so let's go ahead and finish our boss's headquarters or the foreman's offices or whatever you want to call it. So none of these buildings are going to be gigantic, and I don't think they should be. When you see the picture on Google, you can see SpongeBob visiting, right? Because it's the Snail Bites episode where Gary goes crazy for the snail bites, and then they kind of run out because they're so popular. So SpongeBob goes to the factory because he needs Gary to shut up, and he won't stop complaining about not having snail bites. And this is where you get to see the outside of the facility. So this building doesn't have any type of like special roof or anything. It's just a flat kind of looking roof. So we're gonna go ahead. You know what? I'm not gonna do it quite this low. I'm gonna do one above, just because of the way I wrapped the windows for that little detail. They kind of has like portish looking windows, so I wrapped them with the acacia and yeah, one higher, just so that there's a space between the wrapping around the window and the roof or ceiling. So we're gonna go do a perimeter block, and then I don't even have a glass block. So I did have one, but now it's gone. There we go. So let's do, I'm not going to worry about the interior of any of these buildings, but like I said, to me this looks kind of like a foreman or manager type office area. So I'm probably just going to put like a couple of desks in there. Very simple. I am going to do a real quick stair. That works. Okay, I'm not going to worry about lighting anything up. Um, None of it today. I really just want to focus on getting everything built within um, like I said, within an hour. So let's fill in our windows. All right, there's building 1, the foreman office. All right. Now I'm going to go back to my block of gold. So you can see I did leave, there's about 4 blocks in between the foreman office and this first kind of silo looking cauldron or something like that. It looks like it holds liquid of some kind. Um, I did 4 straight, 3 diagonal, 4 straight, 3 diagonal. So you guys, if you want to build it to the same specs, 4 straight, 3 diagonal. I don't know how big this one is, but I would say about 10 to 12, and it's about a square. All right, so I've already gone up. I made my platform for the bottom. I did 1 high. This is going to be 2 high. When you look at the picture, let's take a look real quick so we know how high next to. So it's just slightly higher than this building. So let's decide what that is. We're going to do that. That looks about good. It's just a little bit higher. I tried to look for a material that was goldish looking, but not the gold. Just because, I don't know, I didn't particularly want to build it with the gold, but the only thing that had that kind of metallic yellow look was the gold, so that's what I ended up using. So this has a very rounded looking top. So once we get the height that we want, we're going to build up and in. So I might actually take it down 1, now that I think about it, because of how I want to build the top of this thing. I don't want it to be too tall because I don't want to have to make everything else tall. So I know that the building over here is going to be tall. Everything else in front is not as tall. But then we have these gigantic, like, I don't know, hopper looking pipes and hoppers and just really big looking stuff coming off the top and connecting these buildings to each other and to this main factory area. So my voice is very raspy today. Okay, all right. So there's the beginning of our goldish silo. I'm going to pull it in and up. I don't think this is probably, I'm going to put a door so that you can go inside of it, but I don't think it's really that. I mean, I guess everything in a factory has to be cleaned at some point, so there's definitely a door or a hatch somewhere so that people can get in and clean it. But in factories, they don't always make that really fun or super easily accessible, even in the real world, so all right. So I just keep going up and in. Let me see. I'm kind of thinking that's enough, actually. That gives me just enough of an illusion that it's rounding up towards the middle. Then I'm going to do my usual perimeter around the top, and then just like the other roof, we're going to do glass so that we don't have to have a bunch of torches and it still have some light. So there we go. So that is building number 2, the silo. Then next to that is this kind of stone gray looking building. It looks like it has a couple of windows. It looks like has some weird lights coming off the top. So let's it looks like it's about the same height as everything else. So I'm not going to worry about if it's higher or lower. I'm just going to do what looks good to me. This building is kind of true to the pipe house look, that it looks like it just has like random windows. um, we're just going to scale up the sides here. When you look at the picture on Google, if you're going to make the Snail Bite Factory, you may choose different building materials. I'm not like super happy with the building materials that I chose. I tried to do close to the color tones and the texture that I felt I was seeing, but it's not like I'm not like totally sold like, oh, this is definitely the best. So you choose your materials wisely. All right, we're going to go in with a perimeter block. And we're going to fill in again with a skylight. Alrighty then. Let's move on. I want to try to get as many of them built before I start pulling new materials out. So this is much like the golden silo cauldron looking building, but it's quite a bit smaller and shorter. So we're just going to go up maybe one more than that. No, that looks about right. I'm going to stick with that. It has like a weird looking, like gigantic hopper looking device by it. So I think this is just kind of like a grain silo or holding silo for whatever like main ingredient they use for snail bites would be like stored in a facility like that. So I'm going to go up one. It doesn't look super rounded. It doesn't look quite as rounded as the gold one. So we're just going to do one and then we'll close off the top. And I think that this is probably going to be one of the only buildings or builds that I'm not going to do a glass top. I think I'm going to just close this in and it's going to be fine. Okay. I will do a door at some point. Okay, so there's my 4th building. This building needs some random windows, so The doors will probably go somewhere around there. So let's do a couple of random windows here. Just because there's always need for light. All right. Let's move on to our largest or tallest building in the back. So this building, when I look at my Google image, also has some of those random windows. They are wrapped for sure, but I'm not sure if I'm going to take the time to do that. We might do that with maybe some of the oxidized copper or something. So let's go ahead and just going to go up. We're going to go around our perimeter. So the interesting thing about this building, like I said, was that it starts off with a rectangle and then it like comes in and then it comes in even longer. So it was an interesting shape. This building is also the tallest of all the buildings. So how tall do we want to make this Snail Bites facility? We are going to have to do a bunch of pipes coming off the top and there's a big giant sign as well. I really don't feel like it's tall enough. It's quite a bit taller, but we don't have to make it quite as exaggerated. But I want it to have a presence. It's like the main part of the factory. Everything else is just like holding stuff. How much taller is it? I'm going to do 2 more. And then I think we're going to call it good. So as usual, I'm going to go around, do a perimeter block before I make my skylight. Alright, this building has some random windows, so let's go ahead and build those. There's not a lot of space. I'm getting close to my hour of PS4 time that I can record. So let's fill in these windows, and then we need to get a move on here. So there's just some random windows. The side doesn't really have any. I think this one has like one or two. Okay, so now we need to join our factory, different buildings, different parts of the factory together with the crazy pipes and hopper looking style metal stuff. So let's alright, so here is all of the main buildings. Let me take a look at my picture real quick. So we have quite a few bizarre looking things. So let's, with the green, this building has a green looking, kind of rusted looking pipe thing coming right here to this building. So we're going to add that in. Like so. I don't think that does anything for it. So then we have kind of a brass looking hopper with some pipes over here. So let's, coming out of this guy over here. So let's do, so this actually, we're gonna do this. This guy comes, it looks like it comes off of this building. Like that, and then they join up with another pipe that goes into what looks like a giant made hopper. So it is a weird color. So this is going to be my hopper here, but it's kind of weird. Alright. so we're gonna come down all the way with this guy, and then I think we're gonna come up one more. Like so, and then, you know what, I kind of like that going out one, so maybe we're gonna do that. Maybe we'll go out one. Let's take a look at that. I kind of like it. So there we go, you guys. There's our little hopper here. I'm going to take the corners off to kind of get rid of a little bit of that excessively square look. I'm not really worried about this being, I don't know, symmetrical or anything like that. And then, this guy actually meets up with him. We're going to go like this. So there we go. So there's some nice factory looking pipe stuff there. Let's take a look. What else could we add? This pipe actually comes off into this building at an angle. So let's of course it's gonna go like right where I have a window. Why wouldn't it do that? Alright, so there we go. Connects into there. I'm gonna do one more set. There we go. So it's got that angle that I'm looking for. Alright, so there's our big, like, giant looking brass hopper. We've got some pipes and stuff coming out of the top. So I'm gonna just do some random looking pipes over here. So do a pipe like that. I'm going to do one over here coming the opposite direction. Alright, so let's go off. Alright, so we've got a couple of pipes there. We need a couple of different colors. That's the thing, is that there's kind of all sorts of crazy. There's even like a yellowy gold looking one over here. There's just like some weird small looking ones. There's some smaller ones with the darker color. I'm kind of just using the colors that I've already been using in my build, just so that it will have some continuity. Let's do one yellow one over here. Okay. Where's that green? Let's do, I like that green. So let's do a couple. And really, you guys, you can do as many or as little as you want. You can do whatever colors and building materials that you prefer. Could really do a lot. So that's just kind of giving you an idea. Now, one of the things that I do want to do is there's this big giant, I think I'm going to use a material that I haven't used yet. There's kind of like this circular looking one, which is going to be hard to do, but it kind of comes off over here. It tapers down at the bottom, so I'm going to make it come up a little bit at the top. And then I'm going to do just a couple of pipes like this. All right. Oh, that doesn't, I don't like that. All right, so all right, we're going to do just a couple. I just don't want that to be the only one that color. All right, so with that said, I think that that is good for now. Um, the only thing that I kind of need to do is there is this funky looking sign, but I don't really know what building material I want to use. It looks like this is so small, but it looks like it's like great fencing or something that it's on. So so that's what I'm going to use to build mine. It looks kind of funky. The other, because I'm running out of time, the other thing that I'm going to do, that I'm going to show you is that they have like fencing all the way around. I'm not going to take time to do it, but I am going to go around my entire facility with the iron bars, and I'm not just going to do it one level. I'm going to go up about 5 or so levels. That's not something I'm going to show in the video, but I'm just going to tell you that's something I'm going to do to kind of finish off. It's that everything is very fenced off. There's also a little sign that they do up here that sells Snail Bites Factory as well. So I'll be building a sign right here. So a sign right here where you walk in. I'm going to be adding a couple of doors and then a sign up here that possibly says Snail Bites or just has some of the like abbreviated letters. So the only other thing that I need to do is to build some stairs coming up here. There looks like a fire escape type thing. I'm going to add a quick door right here for the facility. And I believe even this facility over here has doors. So you guys, there it is. It's not 100% complete, but it's enough so you can see how it's going to turn out. Ultimately, how I built it. If you want to do the same thing, I'm going to add a couple more pipes joining up these front buildings to each other and to this back building. Like I said, I'm going to finish with some signs, build up my fence. But there it is. That's my Snail Bites factory. So come on back. I'll be touring this factory once I get all of the signs up and the interior built. But if you wanted to know how I built it, that's pretty much how I did it. So you guys, as always, please like, subscribe, and have a great day and keep building.